You can probably forget about those massively complicated lighting rigs in Blender. If you want instantly intense cinematic lighting, you can do it with just one light, the area light. So recently I've been noticing that I've got a kind of go-to way of lighting scenes and characters, which is really quick and easy, but gives really nice results. And it's all about mastering the core functionality of the area light, and it will transform your flat, boring images into something more exciting and cinematic. So let's start making our lighting more epic. So I've got a very dull scene here with Suzanne just sitting on a plane, and the world is lit by this color here, which is just a fairly light grey. So we've got a very flat, boring scene here. And incidentally, I'm in cycles. This technique does only work in cycles at the moment. So let's try and spice this scene up a little bit. So I've got two 3D viewports open at the moment. One I've got to rendered view so I can see the results, and one I've just got to solid viewport shading so I can move things around nice and easily. So I'll press Shift A to add, go down to the lights, and I'll choose an area light. So this is just one area light I'm adding to my scene. I'll press G to grab in the Z, move that up, and let's go to front view, rotate it around so it points at Suzanne. Okay, I'll just move out slightly so you can see it there nice and easily. And with my light selected, the object data properties changed to a nice lamp icon, so I can click on that and change some of the parameters. So let's start by changing the power to something like 1000 so we can nice and easily see the results. So we can see the results there. I'll just move the light a little bit further away so I can show you a few features. So let's take a close look at the shadows and one aspect of the area light that I really like. So with my area light selected, if I press S to scale and bring that down, notice what happens to the shadows. The smaller it gets, the sharper the shadows get. So we can actually change the effect of the light through scaling it. Now, incidentally, if I choose the point light, you can see that if I press S to scale, it does nothing. We have to actually affect it by the radius here. So a bigger radius will give softer lighting and softer shadows. But if I go back to my area light, it's really nice that I can change it by changing the size of my light. So if I bring it much bigger like this, much softer shadows. So that's one reason why area lights are always my go-to light. But how can we add some really intense lighting with an area light? Well, most of you will have seen that you can change the color of the light, and that's great. So I'll give it a reddy color like this. So that can offer some interest to your scene. And those are kind of the go-to settings, the power and the color. But in the area light, we've got what's called a beam shape. And this is really nice. Look what happens when I change the beam shape right down to something closer to 5 degrees. You can see that it's actually keeping the shape of the area light now. And this can look really interesting. Let's bring down the strength of our world to something like 0.1, and suddenly we've got a really interesting looking scene. What's even better is that I can change the shape of my area light. So scale Y twice, and that'll be in the y-axis, and I can scale it down so it's a kind of strip of light like this, and then maybe bring it in front of the eyes like this, and it gives a really interesting, intense look, which you can see just there. And that's a really common thing that I love to do with my lighting, to add an intense look. I'll just scale this up again so it's a bit more square, so scale in the Y. And I'll show you another thing that you can do to give an interesting look to your lighting. If we go to the Use Nodes option here, and again, this is only available in cycles, I'll just bring my emission across to the side there. You can actually plug a texture into your emission, and that can make your lights look like they're shining through an object. And the great thing is you can choose pretty much any black and white image and you'll come up with some interesting looks. For example, here's a black and white image of a cityscape. I downloaded this from pexels.com where you can get free images such as this. And the great thing is it can be any image, but black and white ones are the most effective. So in this case, I've got a cityscape that I'll use as my lighting gobo, as it's known as. So I'll just bring that straight in from my file manager, just drag and drop it in there at the front, and then you can hook it up to, weirdly, the color or the strength. I prefer the color, and watch what happens when I hook that in. I've got some interesting looking lighting already. Notice if I hook it into the strength, it has pretty much the same effect, but I have to adjust the power from over here now. I can't adjust it from inside the shader editor, like so, which can be kind of handy. I'll undo that though, and I'll just quickly show you that if I bring my spread to its default, which I think is about 170, it doesn't really have any effect. This will only have an effect if you've got a really low spread, as you can see here. And if I bring it all the way down to 0, you can actually see the image on Suzanne and the floor just there. So I'll bring that up just a bit effect off a little bit of blur, and it looks like it's a light shining through some trees and then through a window, which I think looks really interesting. And again, if I change the y-axis and scale it in, we've got a really interesting lighting pattern with our texture plugged in, and we've got a really interesting shape there as well to give a really intense view to our character. And it can be as simple as that. This is just one light in the scene with a small beam spread here and a texture plugged in, and it looks really fascinating. I used a similar technique for this character here that I sculpted, and if you want to know how to sculpt this, then do check out the link in the description for an introduction to sculpting where we sculpt this character. And you can see I've changed the color and the power just here, but the spread is all important to give it an interesting look. And I've got two lights next to each other. I've got one slightly more powerful and it's really long and thin, and then one next to it a bit thicker, and it's creating this effect next to it, again offering a bit of interest. And I could even add some textures to these lights if I wanted to, but I quite liked this sort of intensity that we've got here. And again, I can play around with the spread. If I want it to be really sharp, I can bring it back down to something like 2 for a really sharp line like this, and it looks really dynamic, interesting and exciting. And although the lighting looks relatively complex, there's only 2 more lights in the scene. I've got a backlight, which is just giving it that outline, and there's one light just here, and the only purpose for that light is again a really small area light just to give that reflection in the eyes, and that's the only reason for that to be there. So generally speaking, it's all about these 2 lights here doing this interesting funneled lighting. So hopefully that's given you some ideas of how you can simply set up your lighting for much more interesting cinematic renders. If you like what I do, then do check out my courses. There's currently a Black Friday sale, and you can get my courses for as low as $5 in some of the bundles. All the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.